In this video, I'm sharing some ideas for the setup of your daily movement line in silence. These are things to try at the very beginning of the school year as you're establishing your daily movement line in silence, or they can be things that you do at any point of the year to help redefine your daily movement line in silence. Line is something that the children are invited to. It's not keeping with our philosophy to demand the child be with us on the line. As with all of the lessons, we entice, we excite, we beckon. And because what we're offering is so beautiful and interesting, the children join us. So bringing the same energy that we offer during the Pink Tower presentation, if we offer that same awe and excitement during the movement line, it makes it that much more fun. Can the children do other activities during line? Yes. In my experience, allowing children to do other things during the movement line is very, very effective in their personal development and in keeping with a home-like quality in our classroom environments. So children can be invited to water plants, to scrub a table, to check and re-roll the rugs, sharpen pencils, care for a classroom pet. There's other things that they can be doing during the movement line. Can children observe on the movement line versus be an active participant? It's been my experience that this is very beneficial to children. They're not all going to be on the line with us. I find every year there's children who are observing the line. They're not quite fully engaged yet, but over time they do. They start to sing along. They start to do the movements with us. So there's a lot of benefit to the child who wants to observe instead, and that is okay. That doesn't mean it's not going well. It just means that that's their process, that they need to take it in visually first. They need to take it in auditorily first, and then later on they'll start participating with us. So I want to share a little game that we play in the beginning of the school year with the children to help establish the movement line. It really does support the movement line as well. So if you're going to be joining me, go ahead and stand on up, and we're going to do this very beginning game with the children. So what we'll do, the initial days of school, is we'll give a tour of the classroom, and each teacher will take so many children with them, 10 or so, and we're showing them all around the classroom. And part of what we're doing is we're pointing out the line. This is our movement line. This is a very special place in our classroom. This is our line. And we will all be joining together here every single day on the movement line. And we're referencing the taped line on our floor. Later on in the morning, that very first day, we're inviting the children to spread all over the classroom and to just walk around. We're just walking around the classroom, and they're moving throughout the environment. Stop, look, and listen. You did it. All right, let's try that again. And then we repeat. So the children are invited to walk around the room and respond by making their body still, by stopping whenever the bell rings. This really helps establish this daily classroom norm that can help us gather the attention of the entire group. And the next thing that I like to do to introduce the movement line is I invite the children to come and sit in the middle of the line, or if it works better in your environment, you can invite them to sit somewhere outside of the taped line that's on your classroom floor. So let's imagine that the children are sitting here in the center of the line. And I'm going to introduce the movement line like this. I'm going to say, well, this is our line. This taped purple line on the floor is our line space. Now here's how I normally walk. I walk through the classroom like this. This is my normal walk. But on the movement line, we walk a special way. I'm going to put my foot right on the movement line, my heel and my toes, and my heel and my toes. This is how I move on on the line. I am walking on the movement line. Now, I placed my hands behind my back. This is certainly a way that we can model for the children with our hands behind our back. But a very young 3-year-old is going to find this really challenging to walk with their hand behind their back. So again, that's certainly not required. You can model that, or model hands on your hips, or you can just leave your arms down at your sides. That is okay too. And we're showing them walking on the line. After I do that, I'm inviting them one at a time. And here's where you can have a colleague, another teacher, inviting the children to go ahead and join you behind you on the line, and then you are walking all around in a circle together. For spacing, we will invite the children to stand on the line, or we've done the walking part, and then I invite them to reach their hand out in front of them. Reach your hand out gently in front of you. If you can touch the person in front of you, if you can reach their shoulder, you're too close. Spread out. We all want to have our own space. I'm not able to touch Miss Anab's shoulder. I cannot reach her shoulder, and I'll have a teacher standing in front of me. And I'm not able to reach her shoulder. That's how I know we have enough space to move. I have space to move, and they have space to move. You can also have the children stand with their toes on the line, and everybody reaches their arms out. And do you have enough room? We'll even do hands on hips because we need that extra space. Otherwise, we're going to be too crowded. So we'll go ahead and put your hands on your hips. And if you can reach, if your elbow can touch someone else's elbow, you're too close, let's spread out. Spacing is key to a successful movement line. So if the children need support with this, we just return to it. A lesson is repeated until it's learned. And that really helps in terms of fostering a line that's going to be successful throughout your school year. Spacing is an awareness task, and it takes time for them to perfect it, and this is okay. Having another adult with you to support for these 7 to 10 minutes is critical. It really makes all the difference, and it doesn't have to remain this way all year. I know how many tasks we have as Montessori teachers in our classrooms, and line time is often the time of day when your colleagues are going to you guys are going to be wanting to get other things done. For the very beginning of the school year, though, if you can have 2 adults on the line with the children, that makes all the difference. So if they are being silly, they can have support. If they need to be invited to go do another activity for a little while, and then invited back to the line, that support is there with the other adult who is with you. And you can alternate who leads the line. So it doesn't have to be the same adult every single day. You can alternate and switch out. And because we're only talking about a 7 to 10 minute line, we're only talking about the other adult being with you. Really, for the traveling on the line, the walking on the line part, and maybe the standing and moving part, which we will get to throughout this presentation, and then the other adult can drop out. So that is a big help. Another setup support for your daily movement line in silence is Positive Discipline by Chip DeLorenzo. I cannot recommend this more. The techniques that he shares are very effective for fostering a kind-hearted, mindful community of growth and understanding. When we get scientific and curious about the behavior that we see in the classroom, we can support it and offer things that are going to help the child develop what they need, instead of feeling like you're constantly having to do classroom management things while you're offering line. So the positive discipline techniques are absolutely wonderful and really help with the movement line. You can also consider a movement shelf or a movement basket that has some items that you can use on the line as the children are gaining proficiency. After they've mastered walking on the line, you can reach over to your movement shelf or into your movement basket, and you can gather some things that they can use. For example, having a spoon with a little marble, or in this case, a really pretty little rock, and they can hold this while they're walking on the line. So having things like that at the ready is another great thing to set up as you are working on crafting your daily movement line and silence.